Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, you always hear me from time to time, in fact, all the time saying we can't rely on this player, we can't rely on that player. Sometimes I sound crazy saying you can't rely on Ozil and Alexis when he was here. I mean, they're world-class players, right? You're supposed to. Don't get me wrong, I agree with that. Obviously, they're expected to make the difference. Where I differ with most people, you go and look at any team that's won any league titles or got to latter stages of any cups, or the teams. Why is it all in my head and that? But and all the teams that have achieved success that we've adored in recent years, they've not relied on one single player. Let's take Barcelona. Of course, Lionel Messi is going to make the difference, and they had other players. But if he was having a bad day, there's Iniesta, there's Xavi, there's Busquets, there's Dani Alves, there's Jordi Alba, there's however many guys there. Do you get what I'm saying? Manchester City, and of course I'm being talking in extremes here. Manchester City, a better example because they're not where the Barca was of 2011. If one player doesn't turn up, there's not one player I would say Pep relies on in that squad. Don't get me wrong, he obviously has his favourites, Kevin and David Silva to a degree. But if Sane's not at it, Sterling's there, vice versa. If Kun's not having a good day, Gab Jesus, I know he's injured, and you get what I mean. There's other players there, short and sharp. A team that aspires to greatness can't be expected to be put. You can't rely on one man, and you can't be expected to rely on one man. More specifically, the signings of Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, terrific signings. No Alexis Sanchez, but terrific signings. Lacazette as well to a degree. So no one Lacazette, despite all the goals he scored in Germany, and he's doing all right here, regardless of however many goals Aubameyang's got in the current campaign for Dortmund, and us, he's got two. We have to remember he's got 1 and 2 now for us. Technically, we can gas him. No matter how world class Ozil is, we cannot rely on these single players. I'm not talking make the difference. Yes, they're expected to make the difference. They can and should, but the team has to be able to pull in the right direction. They will have off days. They like I said, 9 times out of 10 they got to pull us through. But everybody has to be in the collective. Football is 11 players. There's no one. They'll make the difference. But 9 times out of 10, you need to be resolute. You all see Thierry Henry. We've all seen that goal of Thierry Henry scoring in Real Madrid, and that's one of the best goals I've seen for the context and me as an Arsenal fan. Not in terms of a banger in that, but what he did at the Bernabeu. We all see that. But what people don't talk about is when it was Flamini and these man there sent in defence and them things there, remaining resolute and all of these things. If they didn't remain resolute, keep the pressure on Real Madrid, withstand the pressure Real Madrid when they're chasing the lead in them things, they wouldn't have got through, and that wouldn't have been an iconic moment despite the fact we didn't win Champions League. Everybody sees Henry dribbling past bare man and says passing in the ball. No one sees how set up defensively. We cannot rely on one person for success, and any club who does, I'm not even just speaking about Arsenal now, is simply suicide. Now, moving on a bit, and I don't know if this makes sense. Where I have a problem with Arsenal as well, this front three of Mkhitaryan, Ozil, and Aubameyang, it's sick. Most games you'll get away with that. They're all 3 crazy players. But me personally, I want Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Mkhitaryan at least to the end of the season. And why I say that, Mkhitaryan, he's not the quickest, but he's fairly quick and nippy, and he works hard and floats around the pitch. Cool. Ozil in the 10 where he should be. He can track back, but like you saw against Spurs, sometimes it gets gazy and he don't do it. 10 row. Now, behind them is where we do not have any variations, and I've got some written down. If we were to say the specific ones right now, we've got no defensive mid to mop up and cater for the attacking flair of these 3 men going on the pitch further forward, 4 further forward. We've got no deep line playmaker that can just simply receive a ball from the centre half and clip it quick time over the top and play to Aubameyang's strengths and to at times Lacazette. We ain't got that. We ain't got 2 CDMs if we wanted to play our attacking players, but we wanted 2 defensive mids or people that are defensively sound. If we could get one in and play Maitland-Niles there, we could. But what I mean by that is shut games out. Games we expect to lose the midfield battle, but we want to fight. Like we wouldn't lose it against Spurs, but we did. Like say we go against Spurs, we have 2 fighters in there to match them. We don't have different variations. We can't play a Wilshere and a DM, a 2 DMs, a Xhaka and Sutton, a Ramsey, because Ramsey's strengths are going forward. We couldn't do a Ramsey further forward and 2 DMs, or we couldn't even 4-3-3, 3 defensively minded players to shut out a game, or even 3 attacking central midfield players. Well, we can do that, but either way, there's not enough variations, whether it's in the midfield or the flanks, to be unpredictable against opponents. If you cannot be, 1, unpredictable against opponents, 2, have several systems of playing regardless of how home and away in different climates, remain compact defensively, be sound in a system going forward and defensively, pressing as a front. If you cannot do 6 of them, turn up away from home. If you cannot do 7 of these things I've named, and there is more, 7 of these things, win when you shouldn't really win, and not lose when you deserve to lose. That's around 8-9 now. My maths is dead, but we're about that. I could name more, but until you can do these several things I've named, you can forget about winning any Champions League, any Premier League, qualifying for any top league and top Champions League. And it hurts me to say this. Obviously, I want to be there. Obviously, in an ideal world, whether you support Arsenal or you support West Brom, you want to win the league. At a bare minimum, you want to be in the champs as an Arsenal fan or any fan in the top 6. But we don't deserve to be there because we ain't played like man that want to be in the top 6. It pains me to give credit to Spurs, but you got to give credit where it's due. Look at that. Look, February's not over, and if they go get smacked against Juventus and have another scare, it will look silly. But at this current moment in time, you got to give 100% praise to Spurs. Because them and there, they were probably pre-February looking at all of them fixtures, the Juventuses, the Liverpools, United, us, City. Did they play City? No, forget City. I'm gassing about that one. But the rest, them other games, they must have looked at it. It's like, yeah, our backs are against the wall. We need to turn up. And they were galvanised. They got a point. Lucky circumstances. They got a point against Liverpool. They banged us at home. We slapped them at our place. They slapped us here. Credit where it's due. They slapped United. That's very good for them. Now, if Juventus smack them, which I hope happens, of course, that's a different story. But that's if they don't get top 4, that is not through want of trying. You get what I'm saying? Arsenal, we've got too many times where we need to look at ourselves in the mirror. Like, we've not turned up enough times away from home. We've not killed teams enough. I've told you guys this. You can watch this, and I'm really not trying to be negative. I'm telling guys the facts. Until we can do these certain things, we cannot move forward as a football club. The minimum is inspiration, and the minimum is learning from mistakes. Time and time again, we go through this. If it was about hindsight and tweeting, we'd be top of the league. Because what did you see before Arsenal, before the game at Spurs? We say we're ready. We know what we need to do. Training, preparation. And then man got the snud and looking all messed and that. No, Spurs played before us. How did they look more sharper than you? They played on Wednesday. You had more of a rest. They played on Wednesday. It's 12:30. What were you lot doing last night? Were you lot just taking snaps and doing all this nonsense? Like, Spurs must have been getting there 8-9 hours because they were on job. They got their sleep and their breakfast. Did you even have breakfast? Like, what's going on? Like, we had no energy, no juice. Like, did we eat just toast for brekkie? Like, what happened? There was no ackee and saltfish or nothing. Like, nothing to get energy and boost. Like, no hard food or nothing. Like, I don't know what needs to be said or done at this point. None of us do. Only the man in the... Well, we do, but there's not a single person or group of people to blame at this club. It's collective. It's collective from the players to the owner to definitely the manager. It's a collective, and it's only going to get worse. You keep denying stuff. You fix your roof. You're meant to fix the roof when it's raining. All the times we was getting Champions League when we got complacent, where we did not deserve it with substandard players, we should have fixed the roof. We didn't. Now the roof is leaking and it's really coming down and we're getting flooded and there ain't nothing we can do. On last topic, on top of the North London derby, I can't understand how certain man didn't turn up, because I've seen Chimak turn up at North London derby, and for Spurs fans, I've seen David, former Arsenal player, but I've seen Bentley turn up against Arsenal. 2 crap players, respectively, for both sides. They know what it means. So when I see world-class players, I'm not going to dig out, man, but when I see world-class players not turning up and them some standard man are, what's going on? Anyways, man, guys, the Ludicuna Kuna YouTube's in N'Golo Kante. Let me get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day or night or whenever this vid comes out. I'm out, man. Guys, out.